Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to another episode here on True Confessions Naija. The story you're about to listen to comes from a message we received from one of our sisters. And the message, it reads like this. Good day, Uncle Ori. Hello, everyone. All right, here goes nothing. Honestly, I have been carrying this around forever. It's like this weird, heavy rock in my chest. Never thought I'll actually say this out loud, or put it out there for the internet to chew on. But hey, I believe it will help me patch myself up a bit, or at the very least, give someone else a heads up before they fall into the same mess. I want to keep my identity hidden. So let's just say I'm a woman from Zimbabwe, now living in a foreign country, far away from the soil where my life began and where it was destroyed. I live overseas now with my mother, my sisters, my brothers, their wives, my husband, my former husband, and my only daughter. We are like a small Zimbabwean village packed into one house, but each of us carrying our own private pain. We have been away from home for many years now. In fact, going back to Zimbabwe, I don't think it will ever happen for me. Not because I don't love my country, I do, but because of the shadow that still follows us. We left Zimbabwe soon after my father passed away. My father was a complicated man. In many ways, he was good, kind even, but he was also a victim of his own decisions that left behind what I now believe is a generational curse. I have one daughter, and for reasons I will explain, I cannot marry. I have tried twice. Both times, the man I was ready to marry died suddenly in tragic accidents. It is as if something, somewhere, is determined to keep me alone. The first man died back in Zimbabwe. I truly believed he was the one. But one day, about 25 kilometers outside of Umvuma, he got into a fatal road accident on his way back from visiting his parents. I was devastated. At that time, I thought it was just bad luck, but that was only the beginning of my nightmare. Later, I learned that my own family, the people I trusted most, knew this was going to happen. They knew that something in our family hated the idea of me getting married, but no one told me. They just let it happen. It all started in 2005. My father was doing well. He was a factory manager, respected in our community, and we were living comfortably. We had no reason to struggle. But then, my father decided to join politics. I remember the night clearly. He came home, his eyes full of fire, and announced that he was joining the MDC, the new opposition movement at the time. My mother protested. She told him, "We are okay. We have a good life. Why risk it?" But my father was stubborn. He said it was necessary to stand for change. He rose quickly in the party. People liked him, and then the elections came. What my father didn't expect was that he would be nominated to run for parliament in our constituency. The problem? The man he was running against was a political heavyweight from the ruling party, someone with deep community roots and massive support. That's when my mother's older brother, my uncle, stepped in with an idea that would change our lives forever. My uncle told my father that the opponents had strong medicine, spiritual protection. According to him, this man kept a giant python for political power and rubbed oil taken from a lion so that people would fear him. My father was a Christian, but instead of praying, he allowed himself to be persuaded by uncle who told him, "You can't win in the physical without first winning in the spiritual." So my father agreed to visit a Sangoma, a traditional healer. I wasn't told much, but I know that one night, my father, my uncle, and my brothers went somewhere far. When they came back, they brought with them a new dress, a jacket, and shoes. They were not for my mother. They were for our maid, a young woman named Chipo. They also gave her a large sum of money. She was told to take these clothes and the money home to her village during her leave. What she didn't know was that the clothes had been prepared for her death, and the money was meant to help her family buy her coffin and food for the funeral. My mother, she forced Chipo to wear the clothes. When Chipo reached her village, something changed in her. She began to run mad. Villagers said she complained about seeing a man in a black suit chasing her everywhere she went. My father always wore black suits. Then one day, Chipo walked straight to a crocodile-infested river and jumped in. They said she screamed just before disappearing under the water, that the man in the black suit was there again. The election came and my father lost. That's when Chipo's spirits began to visit our home. At first, we thought it was imagination, but soon we would all see her just after sunset, walking with a pot in her hands, entering our house and cooking like she used to. Sometimes she would be seen sweeping the yard or washing dishes. The more she appeared, the sicker my father became. Eventually, he died. At my father's funeral, my mother looked terrified. She didn't say anything then, but after we moved to Canada, she finally told us the truth. She said that during the funeral, Chipo's ghost came to her and said, "For what you did to me, I'll finish all of your children and grandchildren one by one." That's why my mother made us leave Zimbabwe forever. A traditional healer told her the only way to survive was to run. But running didn't save me. I was cursed too. Two men I loved, both of them died in a fatal car accident before we could marry. I live in fear of falling in love again, because what if it happens again? I think back to my father, the man who once held the Bible, who prayed over our meals, who taught us to be good people, and I ask myself, why did you trade God for a Sangoma? Why did you sacrifice an innocent girl just for politics? Because of that decision, my life and the lives of all my siblings will never be the same. If you're listening to me right now, please, no matter how desperate you are, no matter how badly you want to win or succeed, do not go to a traditional healer or Sangoma for power. You might think you are in control, but once you open that door, it will never close. They don't just take your money, they take your bloodline. I'm living proof. This is my confession. It means a lot to have my story heard, and I'll be in the comments to read your perspectives. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sisters. Let us try to talk to her in the comment section. Things they really happen for this our world. Now, wow.